Hello and welcome to Word in the Burg, our monthly topical talk show about issues that matter to Harrisburg and the region. And today we are talking about parking. A lot has been said about parking, and there's been many changes in Harrisburg's parking system over the past year. But today we are announcing the launch of a brand new mobile parking app, which is going to do two things. It's one, going to empower businesses and help encourage businesses to market themselves better and potentially validate parking and offer coupons. And two, it's going to make it easier for consumers, for customers, for anyone coming into downtown Harrisburg to park. And if you're like me, you know it can be difficult sometimes to find the right change or get your credit card out, go up to a meter. It might be dark out, it might be cold out, you got to punch in the code. Well, this new app called PANGO, P-A-N-G-O, completely revolutionizes all of that and makes it easy to park in Harrisburg. All you have to do is sign up for the app. You can download it on mypango.com. You can go to the App Store and type in PANGO and you'll find it there as a free download. And in a short period of time, you can enter your vehicle information, your license plate number, your phone number, and your preferred method of payment, and you will be all set up to park in Harrisburg. And you'll never have to enter that information ever again. You just open up the app, you select the city of Harrisburg, you type in your zone, and there are 4 different zones in Harrisburg, and it'll be right there in the signs nearby where you're parking, and you hit the start button. And after you're done your parking session, you hit the stop button. And that's it. You will never have to get out of your car and go to that meter again, unless, of course, you want to. You can enter multiple vehicles into the app and all sorts of other features. I've got some wonderful guests here today, and I'm going to turn it over to them to talk a little bit more about this app and what it can do. And I want to start by introducing Mr. Neil Edwards, who is the president of PANGO USA. And it is PANGO USA because we're dealing with an international company that is used really all over the world and in a lot of cities in the United States and in Pennsylvania specifically. But Neil, tell us about what in your mind are the most important things that PANGO brings to parking in Harrisburg.
Well, thank you very much, first of all, for such a warm welcome. We really enjoyed the experience of rolling this out, because we like to come in and say that PANGO really changes communities. It really changes the dynamic of making parking a business development tool or an economic development tool for businesses, as well as making something convenient for the consumer. And I think you said it best. What do? We allow for you to pay for your parking on your phone. The other thing we allow you to do is if there is a restaurant, we allow you to get a validation code from the restaurant to get free parking or a coupon. The app also allows for you to find the local garages and their prices and to find parking availability, so to really look at where should I be parking inside the city. So we're really excited about the service. What's really cool about it is that we don't change Park Harrisburg at all. We don't change it. You can still pay on the meters with your credit card or with your coins, but it's an added level of convenience so that on a rainy, sleety day or at nighttime when you're maybe afraid for your personal safety, you can actually pay for your parking on your phone. And we're very excited about rolling this out.
And that convenience shouldn't be underestimated because it's a lot faster. I know to get out of the car, to remember your license plate if you're like me, to go up, to type it into the keyboard, to put your phone number in if you want a text alert. All that you only do once when you set up this app on your phone. And from then on out, it's literally open the app, push stop, push start. That convenience saves a lot of time and makes things more efficient. One of the things I like about the app is that it sort of ties into to a map of Harrisburg, and on that map you can not only see the locations of the garages and the hourly rates of the garages, which aren't all the same, are they?
No.
And you can get directions to the garage. You can also see the names of businesses that are populated on the map, and it'll help you navigate around the city. What other features do you think?
We have features like Find My Car, for example. We mentioned the feature, how many times have you parked somewhere and forgotten where you parked? Simple, but it's good. We have features where you can add multiple cars or multiple drivers to the account. So, so if my wife was wanting to park, I could add her, her as a person or her car as a car in the app. So tons of features that just really make it convenient for you to pay for parking more quickly, to have one consolidated bill, and to really, even more importantly, I would say, look at the locale where you around where you are, because most people spend their last 15 minutes when they drive every day searching for parking, and what we really do is really try to tie space availability with local coupons, and make it something make it a meaningful experience. So really excited about it.
Well, thanks, Neil. I think you've really described how easy and convenient this app is. I want to turn to another guest we have here with us today, and that is Gary Huther, who is the president and co-founder of Arugas. And we all love Arugas right downtown in Restaurant Row in Harrisburg. And one of the things we talked about early on, I think, sort of business owner to business owner, was the concept of how we can turn this narrative around. How can we take the parking system and turn it into an actual marketing vehicle for businesses? And that's what really excites me about PANGO. Tell us a little bit about Arugas and how the new parking system has affected business, and how you hope to utilize the app to help promote yourself.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. We're really excited as well about the PANGO app. I think, as parking came and we're growing like every larger city does, it is something that is coming. It's in most big cities now. But I think the app, it does make a convenience. Just for today, for example, of it being raining, to run to the meter, to do it, I think that deters some people from not just paying for parking, but, oh, it's snowing, it's raining, I don't want to have to go find a meter to run in. Knowing they can do it from their phone, I think, is going to help with the weather transition of if I come downtown and walk. I also believe that the marketing from it, most of our marketing is moving towards mobile, as everything else is. Now to have a customer come in our radius to be alerted electronically from their phone of our specials or validation or couponing is a new way to market. I mean, it's using GPS and mobile. It's the future as well. So it allows us to not spend dollars to people that are outside of the city to bring them in, but to really capture the people that are in the city and let them know what we're doing. Yeah,
and I know you can change those coupons and those validation promotions fairly easy, but go ahead and tell us what are you thinking? What type of a coupon would we see right now if we pulled up the Arugas?
Well, right now, one of the biggest things that we think is promoting our happy hour and daily features. So right now, as I parked near the Arugas, it populated, come on into Arugas, because today is Tuesday and we're running X special. So I got to see firsthand today, if I'm a customer and I park outside and I'm going, which restaurant am I going into, which business am I going into? I think the one that's promoting what they're doing is going to attract the customer. The next step is we're planning to roll out the validation. We're still working on a spend through our restaurant, but we should have that worked out this week. But we think that hopefully we can attract the state workers that maybe before the parking scenario came down and had happy hour. We're now, after paying parking all day, don't want to come and pay a second time. Well, now maybe for them coming, they can still get their happy hour in and us cover the parking and become a win-win deal. So we're really going to promote heavily to the state employees that we're going to be validating parking and try to keep them for the happy hour. Not so much bring new people in, but keep the people that are here from leaving.
That's great. And I'll talk business owner to business owner for a second, taking my mayor's cap off. At the bookstore, we're excited. Not only are we now able to promote through the coupon app for the Midtown Scholar Bookstore, we can promote our big holiday specials, of which there are quite a few. But now we're able to offer an hour's free parking if you make a $20 purchase. To us, that made a lot of sense. We've tried many different discount programs and coupons in the past, but I don't think any will be necessarily more effective than this. And it's something that we can measure, we can target by zone, and we really keep track of how many people are utilizing it. So that's a very exciting thing. I want to turn to Moran Yamani, who is former president of Harrisburg Young Professionals, HYP. When we talked to HYP earlier this year, they were very excited in helping us get the word out and really bring Harrisburg, modernize Harrisburg's parking system into something that really would appeal to a younger crowd. Moran, can you talk a little bit about how some of your members are looking forward to using the app?
Absolutely. First, I'd like to thank you and the other guests for allowing the opportunity to be here. But what an incredible opportunity to have PANGO USA come into the city of Harrisburg and deliver such a great product to a generation that's used to using something like this. We go to other cities or other places and we're used to using our applications to find Uber or find restaurants or find other things. So having PANGO on your phone makes a lot of sense for millennials, Generation X, baby boomers, for a lot of people, because if you think about the region the way we do, we find that all the best restaurants in the region are in the city of Harrisburg. And you know, whether it's the new ones or it's the establishments like Aruga's that have been here and tried and true, this is exciting because, as Gary mentioned, we want to keep people here, but we also want to get those suburbanites that are in the suburbs, whether it's East Shore or West Shore, come back into the city. And this provides an easy solution for them to come back to Harrisburg. So for HYP, we're extremely excited about this mobile application.
That's great. And another thing which the validation offers is it offers organizations or groups the ability to run big specials or promotions. So there could be a HYP sponsored happy hour, and codes could go out to HYP members to encourage them to come, or the Downtown Improvement District could do something along those lines. How do you think parking has affected HYP members thus far, and what do you think the app might do to help bring even more people downtown?
Right. The exciting thing about PANGO and this app is the fact that it's moving the conversation forward, and we've all felt the growing pains of changing parking, change in general, and as everyone knows, change takes time. But what's exciting about PANGO and the parking in the city is that it's starting an exciting conversation to bring people back in. And that's what we're looking forward to, because we do think that HYP will be able to run specials, because we do frequent the city at night. We do frequent on Saturdays with our cleanups and our outreach events and helping kids out. So this is an opportunity for us to really get on board and potentially partner with businesses, bring people into the fold, and really get people excited about what's here in the city through a great app.
Yeah, and I think really the possibilities are unlimited, and
Right.
we're going to see. Now, Neil, I know that businesses in Harrisburg that might want to sign up are probably watching this and saying how can they get more information. One of the things I thought was so impressive about PANGO USA was your commitment to want to come here and have ambassadors basically go door to door and try and bring the business community into the fold.
Yeah, we're going to, over the next 2 to 3 months, we're literally hiring, a local, we call them community marketing directors, because it's really about organizing the community. It's not about passing out cards to get people to sign up. It's really about getting the businesses to show the value, because if you think about it, the most prime real estate is in front of your store, and you want that real estate filled with your customer, right? And you want to pull them in. And really, so what we're going to be doing is we have a group of dedicated people who'll be working with the downtown, with the HYP organization, and with the businesses like like Aruga's, and really rolling this out. And it's not, Rome wasn't built in a day. So this week we'll have 5 or 6 coupons. We think that by the middle of January we'll probably have 30 to 40 coupons and validation. Hopefully several hundred validation codes. Now there was an interesting point I thought, and you bring this up. One of the things that we're doing, which is a real benefit for the city, okay, is that today you don't know who your parkers are. You have no idea, because it's a transient transaction. I come in, I put in my coins, and the only thing you know about me is I paid my coins or I paid my credit card, but you don't know anything about me as a person. With PANGO, what happens is we start to get more and more adoption. We get to do analysis on an aggregated, so we don't share privacy information, but we get to share on aggregate, on a percentage basis, of where do people come from who visit the city, right? And how long do they stay, what their average times are, and then when's the busy, when is the inventory filled or not filled, and with our partner SP Plus, and with the city as our partner, this is the type of information that's going to really help the city be able to make some really cool policy decisions, because all of a sudden you actually have real data. You don't have to go commission a survey and get people to, take fake questions over the phone. You have the hard data, and we go into communities like Scranton, for example, where we're about 18% of their revenues today, and we actually know how many percent of the drivers are downtown versus the bedroom communities. And I think those types of things really start to make, when you're looking at policy or you're looking at your restaurant, or HYP, that type of information becomes super valuable, because all of a sudden now, when someone says, I need, more turnover, minimum stays, you can say, no, the average person stays here an hour and a half. We want them here because they're buying food, right? We don't need high turnover. So you can make decisions like that on pricing and things. So really cool stuff for the city. It makes you a real smart city. I don't want to overuse that overused term, but it really makes you a smart city.
I think that type of data is so important that we gather it, especially since we're in the early stages of understanding these parking changes and what it's going to mean for the city. We need to know who's parking, where they're parking, and why people are coming here. And that data in aggregate is going to really help the city market itself, help businesses market itself, help us better understand the finances undergirding the system. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about cost. Now, obviously, you're working in tandem with Standard Parking, which is running the parking system here. That's right. When people pay for parking, you're simply sending along those payments to Standard, and when somebody pushes the start button, Standard's parking enforcement officers will all know that that you've started parking. That license plate has started. There is a cost to use the app for each session, and why don't you tell us about that cost? Sure. And go ahead.
So number one, when you go to use the system, it's just like using a parking meter today. There's no drama in it. You program in how much time you want, press the start button. Okay. When you sign up, you get 5 hours of free parking from us, which is great, because for most people that will last them for about a month. And so we're running that promotion to the city. We pay for it, by the way, so no free rides. And then when you process the transaction for every parking session, it costs 14 cents. So I don't know of a better bargain than that. 14 cents. I mean, I'd pay 14 cents not to have to get out in the rain, any day of the week. So it's very simple. And then you see it we have a parking activity report on your phone, and you get a receipt, and it goes right on your phone, and you can see how much time you parked, how much the parking transaction was, and which is the fee that goes to SP Plus, and then the transaction fee. Okay, and the way it works is we work 100% with the current meter system today. So when a parking session is started in one of the zones, we actually the patrol officer, in his handheld device on his car, he says, oh, this car parked across from Arugula's is paying with PANGO and not paying with the DPT meter, and he sees that he doesn't need to write a ticket. So it works just exactly like the system does today.
And I want to emphasize it's 5 hours of free parking just to sign up for the app. So you really got nothing to lose. Even if you're concerned about paying 14 cents for the session, get your 5 hours free. See how easy and convenient it is. And I bet you won't. I bet you won't stop using it. Yeah. Gary, one of the nice things about this app is there's really no excuse for anyone ever to get a parking ticket ever again. The way the text notification works when you're running out of time, allowing you to put more time in, is a very convenient way. And I know nothing sours a trip down to Harrisburg more than getting a ticket. But with PANGO, that shouldn't happen. What else really appeals to you about this app from a business standpoint?
Well, I think, as you kind of said, it does leave a sour taste when they get a ticket. And I think that's some of the kind of advantages over the old system is who carries coins anymore, let alone. So I always ended up with a ticket the old way because I never had coins and there was no other option. But I think again, the mobile, the attracting customers that are in your area, I think is a really great form of marketing. I mean, we pay on Facebook to try to attract customers that might be not in the area, where this is really hitting people that are here. And I think too, and as you said, that I think that it could give some opportunity to bring down some of that lunch traffic. So people that may be in Camp Hill that says, hey, I don't want to go pay for parking. Well, we can work out a deal from the validation standpoint where they could come down for their hour lunch, be able to enjoy a great meal, and not have to experience the parking or the sour taste of a ticket. And I think the advantage, as it was mentioned earlier too, is you're not paying for 3 hours and then using 2 hours. You're using what you use. I think over time that's going to save the consumer as well.
And the other thing is, just for getting the on-street parking, let's suppose I've got a really nice car, or I'm a woman and I don't feel like parking at night on the street, and I want to park in a lighted garage with security. I can literally go on my app and find out where the garages are, what a picture of the garage looks like, and what the cost is. So I know what my costs are. So there's the whole tool, and the same thing about the validations that we'll put on there, so we can show the restaurants who have the validations, and we'll roll that out relatively soon. So it's an information portal. We kind of makes us your driver's companion, we like to say. It's your driver's companion, so that when you're you navigate with Google to go long distances, to navigate for your final 15 minutes, we want that to be with PANGO. And the only way that works is to partner with small business. It's not about partnering with the huge companies. It's about the small business in the downtown, because that's where we're targeted. And so it's very cool. I think that's how you really change communities quickly, not over time.
Yeah, and Gary, just from a marketing standpoint, one of the things I like is that you can really target your validations. You could have a validation code that you only make available to state workers, for instance, or you could have various coupons per parking zone. On the one hand, it's advantageous to try and lure those people that are already parked outside your door in. But it's also can be really interesting to try and get people that are parking in a different area in the city to come and visit you. So you can change your coupons depending on which zone you're in, or your specials. So I think really from a marketing standpoint, the sky is the limit in getting the word out.
And another very interesting thing is that this allows cities and business to have a disruptive model to really, get people back in. So if you think about it, let's suppose on the other side of town, there's 5 businesses that get together and they say, we're going to provide 100% free parking. So if you park on this street in this zone, and if they pay for the validations, the city makes the money in the parking. Why do you care? The city still gets paid. But for the consumer, it's free if you park on that street. What a great idea, right? So you have lots of different opportunities to really pull people in. So it's the creativity and the innovation, that you do, instead of just taking boring parking and parking meters, and you just flip it up on its side and say, wow, we're doing something with this valuable real estate, and so it's very interesting. That's what I'm really excited about.
And Moran, it's the collaborations and the partnerships that's that type of inventive entrepreneurial spirit that I think it will really spur in the part of the the business community in Harrisburg. But from a consumer standpoint, I think will also appeal to folks is that you can literally combine validations. So if we sign up every business in Harrisburg to have some form of validation, you could imagine coming down and going from venue to venue, validating your entire session and supporting businesses at the same time.
Right. This is really nice because not only does Harrisburg have great restaurants, but you think about venues like the Whitaker Center, or you think about events that happen at the Forum, you think about coming here on Saturday, or walking the river, going over the Walnut Street Bridge, and now it provides an opportunity to park your car, hit the app, do what you need to do, have a nice
stress-free day.
Have a stress-free day on a Saturday, come into the city and really enjoy yourself. Talking to members of HYP, for a while they wouldn't schedule breakfast meetings, lunch meetings in the city. This provides an easy opportunity for them to come back to the city, schedule your meetings in the city again, have your lunch at Aruga's, have your lunch at Cork and Fork or Ad Lib or any one of the number of restaurants. If you're a parent and you have young children, come to the Whitaker Center. Enjoy what the city has to offer. What the app is allowing our members to do is catch Harrisburg up and really move it forward. And the convenience of an app that people are familiar with, because a lot of millennials already understand applications. So it's educating them to know that this is available and having the grassroots out there so that they can tell their friends, get the free 5 hours, talk to businesses, ask them if they're signed up, and then really use it, because there's a lot in the city that has to offer, and we should be taking advantage of this.
Yeah, and what's really interesting and very innovative about Harrisburg, by the way, because we're now in 13 cities, we'll be in 15 or 20 cities in the next few months. Harrisburg really embraces community, okay, and embraces the type of change, right? And that comes from leadership, from you and from you and from you. And it's not about coming in and hanging signs and leaving, because basically it'd just be another piece of technology. But it's really about getting the buy-in of the community and then working on a real discipline plan, and making it roll out so that it kind of becomes part of the DNA, if you will, of the local business and of the city and of the parking authority, and that's like really important. I think that it's one of the reasons we're very excited about Harrisburg. I mean, we just won, for example, the city of Phoenix for the Super Bowl, and they have a very similar entrepreneurial type of spirit. And one of the reasons we're so excited about it is because a lot of the things we're doing here are prototypes of things we're going to be rolling out there. But what you see in cities where you really have a good DNA of the business and the community, you see stuff like this flourish. In the cities where they just say, come in and throw up the signs, it's right? So,
well, let me underscore that. I mean, Harrisburg is really on the cutting edge for a change. We're
Exactly.
leading innovation in the in the parking industry throughout the nation. And some of the conversations that we're having here are going to go to Phoenix, and they're going to go to the
You're
next
the
stop,
state
the next stop.
capital of Pennsylvania. Oh my God, you've beat some of the other bigger cities in Pennsylvania, and you're forward thinking to go and do something like this. And it's really exciting, It's very exciting because you're going to be a prototype of what other people look for in trying to do change. I mean, we had a very, very funny experience where, and I won't mention the city, but they thought the technology was too advanced, and and everybody just wanted the parking meter, and it's so sad because we saw where the city government really wanted to push people in. And we don't change how the city works. We just add a layer of innovation on top and gives you more options, And it's a really good. We're really excited about it with you guys.
This app it's about freedom, and I like being free
That's
of the
a great
meters,
word, actually.
and I never have to go to a meter again. I don't have to worry about racing out to a meter to put more money in it. I don't have to worry about going out and figuring out in the first place. All of this, and I don't think we can emphasize just how easy it is to use this map. It's as simple as a start and a stop on a phone. Right. And I believe it's as easy. It's not just going to appeal to the younger generation, although it certainly will. I think it's going to appeal to my parents and your parents and other generations. It should also be noted you don't need a smartphone.
You don't need a $600 phone.
This is going to really change the way business is done in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
So I want to thank my guests for being here today. That's all the time that we have left for this edition of Word in the Burg. If you have additional topics for future Word in the Burgs, I hope you'll email them to us at wordintheburg@cityofhbg.com. And thanks for viewing.